Hello and welcome to Spring Commander Forged Alliance. This is going to be a very good game, an Aeon on open palms, and of course here we got Uber going first land. He's got going second air. He's going to go with a total of 5 pigeons, completely neglecting the Hydra with his ACU, moving out to the right side. Of course Zock, currently number 1 on the ladder. Very good AM player, or player in general, going first land as well. So no bombers, second air. We'll see how that works out. But really low power for Uber. I don't know if he'll be able to pull off a bomber with just 5 pigeons. Let's see what the first engine. Yeah, it looks like by the time he gets that factory, he is planning on having that Hydra. You can see it's going to be a pretty big land spam, a whole bunch of Tech 1 land factories. You can see the plan for Zock quite late, third air, first 2 lands, so we might expect some very nice raiding with the flares. Flares, of course, really nice in the light assault bot fights. It's a little slower fire rate, but cause a lot more damage per shot than some of the other units. Although it's pretty even, but it's going to be a flare on flare battle. See a flare without a scout, another flare with a scout from Uber. I'll put this at +2 for now. Zock moving out with ACU, the Hydra. He's got 2 engineers getting his first 3 land factories. And we're gonna have the first battle. Couple of flares seeing each other. And Uber gets the first kill, so nice micro. He's gotta run. The flare with the scout's gonna chase him down. But getting a flare early on in the backyard just makes a very annoying situation on open palms. And here's another couple flares. See, both players know what they're doing. The scout's going to be sacrificed, allowing the flare to escape. Great stuff from Uber, but also very good defense from Zock. Now I can see the Hydra has been finished for Uber. He does have his air factory making interceptors. So Zock guessed right, and actually Zock going third air with the bomber, the more aggressive third air. It's kind of interesting. So one more kill on that flare and can start regenerating itself, although it'll be very difficult against a full health flare here. But perhaps these 2 flares can come together and go 2v1. And here comes the first bomber from Zock. An interceptor, multiple interceptors for Uber on patrol. It's a great play from both players so far. The ACU for Zock very aggressive now, bringing an NG with him. He's going to pick up a Hydra here on the side. Uber moving out as well is going to get a point defense, and of course the bomber really had no chance. Engineer survives, going to move in, and we see point defenses for these expanding engineers here in the corner. Another bomber coming in for Zock. He's not going to bother making interceptors. Well, he is making some interceptors now, but can't imagine this bomber surviving for too long. We can see some dodging action now. Yeah, this is good stuff from Uber. Good defense, not allowing this bomber to do anything to him. So 2 wasted bombers for Zock. And now we are going to see flares all over the map. I see a total of 4 land factories, a single engineer on the Tech 1 spam, and a single engineer helping out to make interceptors. You can see a total of 5 land factories going for 6 for Uber. He also has a single engineer on the Tech 1 spam. So extremely similar from both players. One thing to note, the more aggressive ACU for Uber. And against the flare, you got to be very careful because the flares do outrage the ACU without the gun upgrade. And looks like some successful raiding here. This tank has killed the engineer. It's expanding for Uber, killing the plan here on the bottom. And a successful drop, taking the top. So early on, definitely air advantage for Uber. And this is going to be extremely close. These are very timely auroras here. If they can take out this engineer before he gets the point defense, and indeed they will, and that's going to be a huge loss for Uber. So great auroras on both sides for Zock, preventing Uber Geek from establishing control. If Uber Geek was able to establish control in both expansions of point defenses and taking over the top and have air control, he'd be in an excellent position. Although he is quite adventurous with his ACU, he's got to be very careful, picking up a whole bunch of mass extractors. And now Zock moving in with his ACU. Another attempt at a point defense. Most likely won't work. The auroras are going to retreat. And some forces in support here. Both ACUs so courageous, and actually against Aeon, that's very dangerous. We just saw an air fight. That's some excellent micro there from Uber, completely dominating. And he's got engineers on both of these high ledges. And a counter up now for Zock. 2 engineers versus 1. It's going to be problems for Uber. Against Aeon, you want to be very careful with your ACUs. Always the tech to air, quick tech to air. And perhaps around 10 minutes, both players should be thinking that. You see multiple air factories now for Uber Geek. He's got a total of 8 land factories, total of 9. And a win now with these Auroras for Uber. Auroras never touching each other, fighting at distance, a retreat for Uber Geek. And these Aeon and Aeon fights, really the artillery not very good at countering the Aurora. The RD4 Seraphim would be a very good choice with that high rapid or high fire. This Hydra is now in danger. Very nice force here from Uber. Uber really getting an advantage. See a lot of land factories for Zock, but it looks like big numbers for Uber Geek. Excellent Auroras, but perhaps a little too aggressive. But another force coming in. Uber Geek decides to retreat, as well as Zock. So after that early, very aggressive ACU. Very strange. Why didn't Zock just reclaim this engineer and reclaim this factory? Instead he went back, built a couple factories. So we're going to see a fight here, 2 factories versus 1. Zock should still be able to take over. It's a nice Aurora here in the back, but very even map control. Maybe slight advantage for Uber, but of course a whole bunch of dead Auroras all over the place for Zock. That could be a big advantage. And Tech 2 land now. Zock getting Tech 2 land, that's going to be interesting. Pretty nice air spam. And now 2 engineers on the Tech 1 power spam. And 3 engineers for Uber Geek. Tech 2 air. So Tech 2 air versus Tech 2 land is what we're going to see. Looking at the ACUs, Uber just not too many units here, just a bunch of interceptors and the ACU covering the right side. We also got a fight in the middle. Quite a few dead units. So for the most part, 2 front, possible 3rd front here, but neither player really taking a risk. Absolutely no aggressive units for Zock. He's making defensive structures. Yeah, both players making Tech 1 point defenses. Well, Zock here on the sides. So Zock is going to establish really nice defensive structure. And now it looks like Zock will take this high ground of the 2 factories, but definitely numbers advantage. But of course, gunships are definitely on the horizon for Uber Geek. He's got some Tech 2, actually already got Tech 2 power. So Tech 2 power for Uber before Zock is able to do that. We can see some tactical missile defense and shields. And of course, mobile shields for Aeon, so dominant, especially together with Auroras. And a couple of Tech 2 flak is just an indestructible force until you see Tech 3. The ACU for Uber not getting some upgrades. It is the gun upgrade. And great stuff from Zock, playing really wide. Aurora's taking out mass extractors. Definitely still numbers here for Uber. Trying to play some defense. One thing that's a little disappointing, we don't see a lot of engineers here in the middle picking up the mass. We do see it somewhat for neither player really neglecting the reclaim. We do see some Tech 2 flak for Zock, and now Tech 2 gunships, which we did expect coming in. They're going to take back the upper ledge. We should have a whole bunch of interceptors now coming in from Zock. So we're going to be an interesting fight here. He's going to try to counter those gunships. We do see some swift ones here as well. And more swift winds coming in. This should be a dominating. Yeah, this is completely dominated by Uber. Total air control plus gunships. Zock could be in a bit of trouble, although he does have Tech 2 flak, so he can protect his most important armies and targets. Now Aurora and Aurora facing off each other. Very similar numbers. An attack move here from Uber. These are just standing still. And of course here, yeah, the gunships are going to move in, completely shift this battle. Actually, Uber is going to devastate this army, both from the air and kind of sandwiching it. No chance for Zock. Uber playing very good with the Tech 2. And now we got Uber's ACU here at the back door trying to hold the line. He does have both guns, but he did let a couple of units through, but total devastation. But it looks like the gunships are not going to be attacked for Zock. Zock making quite a few interceptors. You can see pretty big Tech 1 air spam. And Tech 3 land for Zock. This just snuck up on me there. Tech 3 land versus Tech 2 air, and this win here, actually Uber Geek running over some Tech 2 point defense. Tech 2 point defense not really that good against Tech 1 for Aeon. But now this Harvey here, first Harvey of the game, is going to be a very nice weapon for Zock. He was in a bit of trouble, that's going to get him back. And now we see cruise missiles. Cruise missiles firing off for Zock. And this unit is going to get so many kills, already at 8, 9. Basically one shot, one kill against the Auroras. Of course the shield with proper micro. No problems. We see the cruise missiles coming in. A tactical missile defense here for Uber, preventing any damage. So good stuff from Uber. Aeon TMD very good if you use it correctly. And actually this Harvey with 32 kills in danger of dying goes down to 1,000 health and gets the 4th star there. Keeps running away and survives. 42 kills. And another Harvey is going to come in, and this is a hero Harvey, 46 kills. Absolutely devastating. Nice Tech 3 land for Zock. This is great to see. Looks like Zock has survived with a single engineer here. Very surprising. This gunship looked like they could have killed everything, and now we're going to see Zock's forces turn into basically Harvey. 17 kills. So single units, different places on the map against massive spam from Uber. Uber, of course, with the ACU on this back door should be able to defend against the Harveys, but here, very big trouble. Tech 2 point defense for Aeon, definitely pretty good against the Harveys, especially with shields. But Tech 2, Tech 1 really gets outgunned by these 51 kill Harvey here. We're going to keep an eye on how many kills this Harvey gets in this game. And engineers trying to get some mass, unable to do so. Zock now pushing on both sides. And if Zock can get this Harvey around the ACU, all these mass extractors are going to die. Some Tech 2 here as well, so big loss is possible for Uber trying to chase him down, but the Harvey is faster. And Zock gets the Harvey through. This will be devastating unless some gunships come to help out. And now point defense, no. Don't do it. Yes, it survives. 5-star, 58 kills. Tech 2 point defenses, and this Tech 3 land is devastating. Another drop here from Uber, but he's going to be surprised he's not going to take that upper. And a Harvey dropped off here on top, so both top ledges are going to belong to Zock. Sorry about that. But some gunships trying to take out the Harvey. Zock trying to save his Harvey, but yeah, gunships definitely. So both players, completely different strategies. Harvey's dominating. Tech 2 gunships also dominating, and we gotta say Harveys have been doing a little better, but gunships definitely can counter these and leave really nice mass chunks. But in terms of map control, so many more mass extractors all over the place for Zock. Looking at Uber's base, he's still at Tech 2 air. He's got a whole bunch of Tech 2 power. He's also got Tech 3 land of his own. He's paused most of his Tech 1 factories, and he basically got engineer spam on 4 of his land factories, actually 5 land factories, making engineer spam. And here Harveys plus shields against Harveys. 72 kill. This is that original. He's got his shield back. He's got to run, but shielded Harveys definitely better, and we might see the hero just died on us. Yeah, the hero Harvey has been destroyed, and massive Tech 2 air now for Zock. This is going to be a very important fight here. If anybody has some flak here, it'd make a huge difference. And looks like it's going to be a total domination once again by Uber. Uber has had air control the entire game, but definitely map control in Zock's favor. In terms of mass here, Tech 2 mass extractors kept with mass storage, but big losses here. Multiple T2 mass extractors destroyed. T2 mass extractors here in the back. It'd be nice to put some arty drops. If you can take these top ledges on open palms, you're really in a position to start dropping from them. And actually going to be a Harvey drop here. This will be very nice from Zock. And now this force from Uber tries to gain a little more ground. They have captured this massive mass field. So many dead units. It really probably doesn't have the capability to keep pushing. One interesting thing, Zock neglecting his shields, which is very strange. He's just making flak and Harbies, but these shields for Uber really making a big difference. And Zock pushing ahead, but it's not clear that he's really going to gain much here. Although he is making progress. Still has a couple Harbies left, 2 Harbies left, but the gunships are going to come in. Actually, no, another one here as well. 18 kills, 2 kills. Very even fight, but the gunships air is always making a difference for Uber Geek. And here's a successful drop. This Harpy is going to devastate 3 T2 mask extractors. Very unfortunate for Uber Geek. Uber Geek's trying to fly back. No engineers left here, so it's going to be a big pain for Uber to take care of that problem. Very nice play from Zock. Zock really not too many T2 mask extractors, just 2 over here, getting a couple more to T2. Tech to air, pretty big tech to air spam, massive tech 3 land spam, sitting on 5 tech 2 power generators. See, these cruise missiles not very effective against Uber Geek, although they do have some kills. And actually Zock surprisingly just rolls through. Pretty good play against the shields here. One thing we haven't seen is the absolvers, the anti-shield weapon, the Tech 3 anti-shield weapon for Aeon, which would be very nice against this this is great stuff with these gunships. Total devastation against Zock's unshielded force. No chance. So that's actually quite amazing. There is a chance. But it's going to be a whole bunch of really nice mass chunks for Uber Geek eventually. And once again, Zock loses his air. Tech 2 flag moves in. I gotta say, I'm very surprised. Zock somehow just dominating with his Harbies against shields. Very nice. And engineers right away for Zock is going to take full advantage of that victory. Plus some Tech 2 point defense, plus some Tech 2 flak. Nice Tech 2 engineering team here from Zock. Elsewhere we are seeing this nice Tech 2 point defenses here for Uber, but this is mostly Tech 1's going to try to get around the side. Uber trying to counter. We got 8 Harbies taking on 4 under shields, so 2v1. Shields don't last very long. And Zock continues to dominate, supported by Tech 2 point defense. So far we've seen shields getting killed by superior numbers, but now Uber here should get the overcharge going. That's going to be somehow he paused his ACU. Not really clear why he's pausing his ACU, but he is really pushed up against his base. Great victory here for Zock. He's going to get so much mass, and he's already establishing a Tech 2 point defense creep. Tech 2 flag, perhaps some shields. And this is not looking good for Uber Geek, although he does have Tech 3 mask extractors. Multiple Tech 3 mask extractors, 3 Tech 2 and Tech 3 mask extractors in his base. What is that? That's a total of 76 power, or no, that's not. That's 81. And now we got Tech 3 engineer for Uber Geek. Multiple Tech 3 engies, perhaps some Tech 3 power. Massive Tech 3 land spam. But Uber Geek's got to get some ideas. Under these circumstances, so much more map control for Zock, and he's actually got Tech 3 air as well. So both players with Tech 3 air and quite a few ASF now. For Zock, he must have Tech 3 power. He does have Tech 3 power, and yet another Tech 3. So multiple Tech 3 land factories now for Zock. Definitely an advantage for Zock, except for mask extractors. So a little more economy. And now first Tech 3 power for Uber. Of course, Swift Winds in large numbers can defend against ASF, but now we are seeing the Tech 2 point defense against Harbies. Desperately trying, but Harbies just so strong. And this is a very thick Tech 2 point defense creep, very slow one. Uber here under some shields is definitely good protection against the Harbies here. perhaps a shield in the ACU would be very nice. As soon as Uber gets a couple more T3 power generators and pretty big cruise missile spam now. Looks like 2 cruise missiles at a time. He's shooting somewhere in this vicinity. Plenty of TMD here, however. So these actually no, taking out the cruise missiles of Zock. So cruise missiles versus cruise missile fight. Some strat bombers now for Zock. Zock beginning to take over this game. He's got map control now. He's got superior units. Tech 3 bombers could be very nice for Zock. Although one big difference: shields for Uber. A lot more shields, a lot less Harbies, and so far Harbies have been dominating. And a single absolver in this force would negate all these shields. Very surprising Zock isn't using it. But I'm not going to question Zock. So here we got a pretty big air fight, and actually this is nice for Uber. It looks like he's able to use his swift ones perhaps with a superior. No, he's just patrolling. So the micro didn't matter, but a lot of nice chunks of mass just fell out of the sky for Uber. He's actually got the Tech 3 air of his own, so not surprising. On the bottom, finally, perhaps a victory for Uber, although a couple Harbies get through, and they're going to try to sneak in through the side. I'm going to kill him a whole bunch of engineers here. Going to knock down some build capacity. Cruise missiles continue to fly. And Zock really building up forces here, a whole bunch of tech-to-point defense. Although this is quite vulnerable now against some cruise missiles. And now a big cruise missile. This could be a snipe against ACU or Tech 3 power generators. Now GC started for Uber Geek. Cruise missiles continue to fly against Tech 3 land factories. Zock is going to rebuild. He really wants 2. He doesn't want only 1. More ASF spam. Third fourth T3 power generator going up for Zock. With this much power, we should see nukes and things like that. But this GC will be very interesting. One thing to note about these cruise missiles, even if you shoot a whole bunch, but all in one volley against the Aeon TMD, it'll deflect all of them. So Aeon TMD really good against large numbers. But you can't shoot over it, so this is a good looking T3 force. What is this, engineers? Whoever gave these engineers this mission really hates them. That was a very short life for those engineers. Plenty of TMD here for Zock. He's got to protect these. Why? We got a Tech 3 torpedo bomber from Zock. He's going to find himself some water and he's going to bomb some water. That's a very expensive unit that he just built for no reason. And air has been completely dominated by Uber all game, but of course land, a different story. But as soon as, actually this GC is nearly done here, minute 35. This is going to be very interesting how Zock responds to that GC. Looking at Zock's eco, a lot less teching on his mask structure. Nothing more than a Tech 2 mask structure anywhere. And these are multiple. Why? Oh yeah. Okay, now Zock realized that is so much mass right there, and he's gonna get it back. It's a bit of a screw up there for Zock. Uber. I would really love to see a shield in an ACU from Uber. No reason to take chances. And whenever you see a shielded ACU and ranked against you, you know he's going to take a massive attack to kill it. Harvey on Harvey battle once again. Numbers for Zock. Looks like no micro whatsoever from Ubergeek. Zock is going to take it, but with pretty massive losses. So both expansions now dead for Uber, but he does have a GC with a whole bunch of shields and Harveys. And the GC is going straight for Zock's base. Zock has realized it and he's running away. So here we see a scout from Ubergeek. So Ubergeek has air control, and here comes a massive missile launcher snipe attempt. But of course TMD here working pretty well. What will Zock do against the GC? Multiple T2 PDs, Of course, these shields, so much extra health for that GC. Mercies, I would love to see Mercies out of here, just hitting that GC. Can get so much damage in a very short amount of time from Mercies. But if this GC doesn't look like it's really losing any health, 55 kills now, a single star, this could be the end of the game, although Zock still has quite a bit of map control. This is where the T3 power is, all the build capacity. See, destroying all the engineers. And this is very devastating. And over Uber's base, I'm hoping not to miss anything. Uber still has air control. This will be very interesting. Tech 3 power, this is very bad for Zock. He just lost most of his power. He doesn't have much power elsewhere. Very surprising that Zock looks like he got beat. I don't see a way back for him by an experimental like that. He had plenty of eco to make an experimental of his own. And actually these cruise missiles, we just saw a whole bunch get deflected, but his shield gets knocked down. Uber gets yet another shield. Perhaps the only chance for Zock is to snipe the ACU, but impossible to snipe an ACU under these circumstances. Just see 108 kills. He's going to come in, finish off the job. Zock going in a corner, asking, okay, what now? Tech 3 power, that's definitely a good start. He needs a lot of power. Tech 2 power here as well. These cruise missiles continue to fire. There's definitely no mass problems still for Zock. He's got plenty of reclaim, plenty of mass extractors, but power must be a huge problem. 126 kills. Total devastation inside Zock's base. Uber perhaps expecting somebody to drop into his base, got some Tech 1 point defense. Mobile shields around the ACU. .36 kills. See what the GC does. At this point, Uber can use his air to find the ACU and go after it. This Tech 2 power, sorry, for Uber Geek, it looks like it's just a Tech 2 ACU. But any extra power that Zock can get is going to be huge. You can see he's spamming a whole bunch of build capacity up on the top ledges. Tech 1 power, whole bunch of Tech 1 power and build capacity up on these top ledges. Because these will not live for too long if Uber Geek can get some gunships. GC coming back home with 150 kills, running everything over in his way, and that's multiple Tech 3 power that's going to be lost. Some great stuff here from Uber Geek. And here come the Strat Bombers. They've just shown themselves against some engineers, and there used to be a pretty big air spam here for Zock, but that's all that's left. And that's not good. And now we're going to see these Strat Bombers get demolished. So we've seen that game against TLO when Zock lost his base, lost most everything. And he still won, but that was with gestures, and that was at the Tech 1, Tech 2 stage. Here it's Tech 3 stage, and Zock decides that he has no options. And really he doesn't. There's a GC coming his way. And Uber Geek wins a great Aeon on Aeon battle here for Open Palms. A really good win for Uber Geek. Hopefully people enjoy this one.